Yo, YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Kari, back here again with another video, man. Before we get into it, go ahead, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already. Show your boy some love. Hit the notification bell so you always know when I'm dropping a new video. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to miss out. Some of my videos are time sensitive, man. If you miss out, you might miss the wave. So make sure you use that notification bell. Definitely like the video, man. If you found it helpful, definitely hit that like button. If you just fuck with me, hit that like button. If you want more people to watch my videos, hit the like button. And don't forget to get in the comments, man. So, with no further ado, man, we got a new topic today. Today, I'm gonna be talking about why are looks so important in Colombia. And then I have an underlying topic about the Prepago look, and a lot of y'all know what I'm talking about. And then the good girl look. So basically how to spot the Prepago girls, the girls that are, maybe I shouldn't call them that, but maybe working girls or girls that are not so authentic and not so genuine versus real deal Colombian girls that are really out here available for you to date, if you know how to attract them, if you know how to engage with them. All right, so that's the topic for the day. Right now I got on my V-Lone hoodie. I've washed it quite a few times, so it's faded, but you know, I really like this hoodie. It's super comfortable. And before we get into it, I just want to say this: you need to respect all women. All right, as long as they respect you, okay? Otherwise, if you allow yourself to get disrespected, they might try to disrespect me, and I ain't going for it. You feel me? A lot of the whole dating game is about respect. If you don't respect yourself, if you don't force people to respect you, if you allow people to disrespect you, they will continue to do so. You know what I mean? So. First things first is just respect the women as long as they respect you, all right? And you have to require your respect, if you know what I'm saying. So let's get into it, man. So in Colombia, people make a lot of judgments from looks. Just being honest, you know, and there's a lot I could say about that. You know, in the States we judge off looks. But you know, in the States, you can see somebody that looks super bummy, and you might still give them the benefit of the doubt that they have money, or you know, maybe they're just not into flashy things, and vice versa. You see a lot of people in the States that have a lot of nice stuff, nice house, nice car, but the first thing I think about is, you know, are they strapped to a ball and chain to have those nice things? Are they, you know, have everything on credit? Do they really got it like that? Because obviously they feel the need to have to portray that image, right? So, you know, out here it's not so much like that. If you see when I see people out here that have really nice cars and things like that, I assume that more than likely they got money, because out here that whole showing off and all that is not such a thing. And actually it can become dangerous. So if you really are showing off, then you probably have the money to do it, and you probably, you know, don't venture out into dangerous situations often. You can stay, you know, kind of like a celebrity lifestyle, like these rappers. They have to be, you know, always in secure places and things like that, gated communities and all that type of stuff. So I just kind of feel like when people have like a G-Wagon, a Mercedes G-Wagon out here or something like that, I assume they got the bread. I don't assume that they're, you know, living life on credit and things like that. Or like, but maybe if they have like you know, a cheaper Benz or something, it could be that it's on credit out here, but you really don't know for sure. And I think, you know, I give people much more benefit of the doubt out here, because I don't think we have such a, I don't think the culture here is so much to show flashy things. In fact, they have a saying out here that you don't show papaya. And what that means is Really, it means like when you're on the street, don't have your phone out, don't have a gold chain on, don't look like somebody that's easy to rob. And I feel like it goes the same way with like cars and houses is a little different, because if you live in a nice area like Envigado, Sabaneta, Poblado, etc., you're not. It's also safer here on these parts of town. So just by living in these places, it doesn't make you more of a target. But having, a nice car and going to a bad place certainly can make you a target. And it all goes into looks. So that's just how I think wealth is perceived in Colombia, different from the U.S. So I'll say this: people use looks here to get what they want, just like in the U.S. Women try to look their best so that, it's not a secret that life becomes easier the better you look, in my opinion. From getting a job, I think, it's easier to convince a hiring manager to hire you if you look good. And maybe I sound vain for saying that, but I really think it's the truth. And with the dating game, it's more easy to attract a wealthier man, someone that has more resources when you look the part as a woman. And that pretty much is the same in the States. So, I don't think that is a very big difference between the two. On the other hand, I do think for men, wearing designer clothes and doing all that type of stuff and really flexing only really brings danger, especially if you're not Colombian. If you're Colombian and that's just how you live, there's plenty of like really wealthy Colombians out here, and they might have Rolexes and stuff, but they're smart enough and they know their country well enough to know when and where they can do it. Like when I was in Santa Marta, we stayed at the Hilton Vacation, a Bonvoy Hilton, meaning like one of their upper echelon. No, it was a Marriott. I think it was a Marriott. When we stayed at that hotel, I saw a Colombian dude walking around with Rolexes and stuff like that. But I'm sure they know that they're not going to go to Bejo and wear the same thing. And they probably, if they have a Benz, they probably wouldn't take the Benz. Maybe they'd take their motorbike. So, when the Colombians do it, they do it in places, in times that they know it's safe, because this is their country, and typically they're smart enough to know the difference. Now, I see a lot of Americans that don't really know the difference, and maybe you can make it in Geras with that because it's such a touristy area. But if you end up in Lorelas with Rolexes on, I think it's not so smart, because people, like I said, the whole topic of this video is why are looks so important. So if you look, if you have those types of things on, you kind of look, that's showing papaya, in my opinion. That's making you look like a lick, is what we say in the States. Like, you look like a lick. You look like susceptible to being robbed, or it looks like you're asking to be robbed in a way. So with that, I'll say a reason that the women go so hard with their looks out here, if you don't understand, you're like, first thing when you touch down here, you're probably like amazed. Like you'll notice a lot of women wear tighter clothes here. A lot of women wear more revealing clothes, especially when they go out. Now, it's funny because when I see people, a lot of women at work, I also see, I feel like the dressing is a little bit more sexy, especially when it comes to the butt. Like they tend to wear tight pants, even if they're long pants that go all the way down to their ankles. They usually are tight and they'll show off that figure. And versus in America, I notice a lot more women wear things that just kind of fall over their butt and don't really reveal the shape of their butt, and so on and so forth. That's one thing. Like, you might just be going to the empanada spot, or you might just be going to the bank, and you'll just notice, like, man, these girls are a little bit sexier than the girls at the bank in the United States. But really, it comes down to competition. I feel like when Colombian women are going out into the world, when they live in their house and doing things, they don't want to be left behind. They don't want to feel like, the next girl is looking better than them. So it really comes down to competition. And when it comes to looks, the Colombian women are very competitive. I see a lot of Colombian women that look at other Colombian women, just checking them out. Like, for instance, when I was at the nail shop, there was a bad girl getting her nails done. A couple people walked in that weren't really just dudes, or just older ladies walked in. She didn't pay them no attention, but another bad girl walked in and she had her eyes all over that other bad chick. You know what I'm saying? Just checking her out, checking to see, what she got on or how she acted. So, the Colombian women, I really believe that they're quite competitive, especially if they're at a certain level of beauty. If there's another challenging, it's almost like alpha males. If there's other alpha males in the room, sometimes they start to get competitive. And so it really is kind of similar for women out here in Colombia, especially when it comes to looks. Let me take a sip of my coffee for a second. All right. So another thing, man. So designer clothes. For me, when I see most designer clothes, depending on the situation, I'm gonna assume it's fake out here, especially if it's a Colombian wearing it. I'm talking, and not just designer stuff like Balmain, Gucci, Louis, Fendi, so on and so forth, but also I see so many fake jerseys, like fake, Jordan jerseys, fake LeBron stuff, just fake, a lot of fake jerseys out here. There's a big market for fake stuff, obviously. If you've ever been to South America, even Mexico has the same thing. I'm pretty sure Brazil's probably similar. But people want to look nice, and maybe they can't afford the authentic Nike stuff like we do in the States. But out here, it's no shame wearing fake Jordans. You'll see Jordans out here and Yeezys out here that colorways that you never seen in your life, because they really don't exist from the official manufacturers, right? And people just end up, getting stuff from China a lot of the times, and they rock it out here, and if it looks good enough, it is hard to tell, and you do get the look from it. You do get the fashionable look from some fake stuff. But for me, I never wear fake anything. That's just something that I always frown upon. Just myself, it doesn't mean it's bad. Just for me, it was just something that I just never got into wearing fake stuff. It was accessible where I grew up in New Jersey. If you went to New York, you could go to Canal Street back in those days, and they had fake everything. But I was never really interested in wearing fake stuff. I just felt like if I couldn't afford it, then it's not for me. But out here, you'll see plenty of that. And for the most part, I assume it's fake unless, say I'm in Provenza. If anyone knows Provenza, so it's a really nice area of restaurants and bars and clubs right above right above Geras area, where Parque Geras is. So if you walk up, kind of going up the hill somewhere, you'll find a really nice area called Provenza. I see a lot of Colombians over there, and from time to time, I do see them rocking designer clothes. And in that situation, I would assume it's real, and it's very likely that they have more money than me. As a gringo, I think a lot of people think that they are the richest person in Colombia when they arrive, but the fact of the matter is, there's a lot of wealth here in Colombia. It's not distributed completely, completely to everybody equally. However, it's very concentrated in certain groups, such as the people that live in Poblado, Rio Negro, and Llano Grande, and these areas of the Medellin Valley, and over on the other side of the mountain where the airport is, which is Rio Negro, Llano Grande, El Retiro, those areas. A lot of wealthy people over there, and sometimes they come down and have dinner in the city, and you'll see that they have wealth. It's not hard to see that. I see tons of, like I say it all the time, Mercedes, BMWs, Audis, all that stuff. So that's designer clothes and high end stuff. I'll say this too. Instagram has really changed the game for Colombia. I think that Instagram has become a place for Colombian, just a status symbol. It's quite the same in the States in that matter, but Instagram, looks matter a lot on Instagram, and that's why when you go out to restaurants and you go out to clubs and whatnot, you see women just having straight up photo shoots like outside the restaurant. There's like a Instagram worthy, frame that they can get, meaning maybe the restaurant has a beautiful garden with this really authentic like antique chair or something, and it just looks really influencer like. Then you'll see women just posting up, taking probably 20 to 50 photos before they're satisfied, just so they could get that look that they're gonna put on the gram. And of course, the more followers, the more likes they get, it becomes a status symbol. It's the same for guys. And that's why you need to go to my Instagram, like all my photos, and show me some love on Instagram. Help me get my following up, help me get my likes up. Cause it goes into looks. Your looks don't just stop at how you look, but your profile is part of your looks nowadays, and that's just how it is. A lot of people want to overlook that piece of it, but it is part of your look. It's part of your overall portfolio, if you will. If we are portfolios as people, I hope you understand that analogy. But another thing, a lot of people use Instagram out here for business a lot. So not just when we're talking how you dress looks, but how looks of your products. If you're selling a product, it's very important to have an Instagram page so that you can sell it, and you might get very beautiful models to sell it and things like that. I see that a lot in terms of Instagram advertisement, because out here you can almost order anything on Instagram, from baked goods to and when I say Instagram, they'll usually send you through WhatsApp, to a link through WhatsApp, and you'll communicate through WhatsApp. But they spend money on the advertisement on Instagram to get your attention, and then there's always like a WhatsApp number, so you could buy clothes. I see women selling tons of clothes on Instagram and WhatsApp, food, like birthday setups, like candles and flowers. You ever seen those like birthday baskets that people deliver for people's birthday? It has like the balloons, maybe some flowers, maybe like some candy and some food or whatnot. Yeah, you can get all that on Instagram. If you want to get the big balloon set up for someone's birthday and have your house decorated for the birthday, you can get all that on Instagram. There's just so much you can get on Instagram, but looks matter on Instagram. So that's kind of the point there with Instagram. So I want to get into this very specific topic here, and it's really the Prepago look versus the good girl Colombian look, like the good girl baddie Colombian look. Like she's not selling no pussy. She's got her own thing, and these women are really hard to get. Versus the Prepago girls. Now that's one thing, but I'm talking even like the girls that are like 50-50. Don't forget like the 50-50 girls, because not every girl is like a either Prepago or not. It's like some girls are like, they'll treat you kind of like a normal person, but they really want to get something out of you. And I call that like a 50-50. So the Prepagos and the 50-50s, I'm going to put them in the same bucket while I do this comparison. But anyway, so one thing you'll see with that group of girls, it's like the Prepagos, 50-50s, right, is really tight clothes to show off their body, right? Versus with the good girl baddies, all right, the good girl baddies, you'll see that they wear tight clothes, but it's with a lot more class when they do it. you know, and it's really hard to explain, but a lot of the Prepago 50/50s, they were the same, you know, maybe they got 2 or 3 cocktail dresses that they wear over and over. And so you can kind of start to see like when their clothes look a little bit more used, and you'll see the same exact dresses, you know, like there's certain dresses that all them girls have, and there's certain like types of jeans and shirts that all them girls have, versus with the good girl baddies, I seem to feel like when I see their clothes, they, for one, look a little bit fresher, look a little bit newer, and they are a little bit more fashion forward. And it's hard to tell, but you know, you can kind of just see like it's not so typical like sexy clothes, but more like sexy with a little bit of elegance. And you know, that's kind of the first thing that I notice a lot. And when I say Prepago 50/50, these are a lot of the girls that hang out around the park in Jeddah, or these are the girls that are on Tinder, and you know, they're coming from Bejo or Manrique to meet up with you and things like that. Versus the good girl baddies, I'll say, generally hang out in like Provenza. You might see them at El Tesoro Mall. You might see them, you know, riding their bike up in Llano Grande. You might see them, you know, going to, I don't know, do different activities, like traveling the world, things like that. So it's just one way to kind of distinguish the two. Okay, so another thing that is a telltale sign, how you can really tell the difference for me, is hair, nails, and makeup. So I can tell what cheap hair, nails, and makeup looks like for me. So there's certain nail designs that I know that are, you know, cheaply done. There's certain makeup where I could tell it's just, you know, that cheap makeup that they sell in Centro, you know what I mean? And not to knock the girls that can't, that's all they can afford, because there's a lot of the good girls that are, you know, still bad, and that's all they can afford, you know what I mean? And they're from the hood. But if we're talking like the upper echelon girls, you know, they're always having that stuff on point, especially the hair. You can tell when a girl goes to like a fire hairstylist and they get fire color put in, and they got maybe the perfect little curls with it and stuff like that. You know, versus a girl that just straightens her hair and goes out every time because, you know, she ain't got the money to go to the hairdresser and get all done up. It makes a big difference out here. That's like probably one of the biggest telltale signs is the hair. Yeah, so with the good girl baddies, their hair is always gonna be on point. Their nails are always gonna be on point, and they might not be the flashy nails that have all the crazy designs, but they might be a more classy type of nails. I noticed that the good girl baddies really like a more simple kind of nail setup, but much cleaner. You know, and then of course their makeup is usually on point, and usually with the good girl baddies, it's not a ton of makeup because they usually have really good skin, versus a lot of the Prepago 50/50s, in my opinion, I've seen a lot of them trying to cover up different stuff. They try to cover up different stuff on their body, such as, you know, acne, or I've seen girls with like these weird, I don't know, this girl had like, it's probably like a disease or something, I don't know, but she had like really big bumps on her face, but she had a ton of makeup on trying to cover that up. And so that's not something I see so much from the good girl baddies. So that's another one. And here's a big one, scent, smell. So I can smell personally cheap scents, bro. Like that fruity, cheap stuff. You know, the Prepago 50/50s, they just spray that shit on them all night. You feel me? And you know, versus a good girl baddie, man, you kind of, it's not so much a scent that you get from like perfume, but it almost smells like their body smells like, you know, soap and fruits, but like not like fruity, like Bed Bath & Beyond type fruits, but more like just like sweet. They smell very sweet, like, and just savory. Like, I don't know. I could definitely tell, and it's something that's hard to describe because we use our noses to kind of sniff that out. But like for me, I could just really smell the difference of like a really good girl. Like when you get close, they always smell amazing out here in Colombia. Like the good girl baddies, like even if they walk past you, you smell like, man, she smells good. Like, you know, and versus like a lot of the Prepago 50/50s, man, they either don't smell good at all. They might smell like deodorant. They might smell like cheap perfume and stuff like that. So, you know, that's a big one for me, man. That's huge. So I hope I gave y'all a few tips and something to go off of when you're out here seeking a partner, you know what I mean? And I really just want to say this, man. I'm not in support of like sex tourism. I know it happens and it's a business, so you know, I do not have a problem. I don't have a problem with, you know, people that are willing participants in that. But I do think it's done a lot of bad to the city of Medellin in terms of the culture and the way gringos are looked at, the way foreigners are looked at, and so on and so forth. So, you know, I don't necessarily support the sex tourism. I know it's a big business, and I don't shame nobody if that's what they came here to get involved in. It's not a problem with me, you know what I'm saying? Hey, more power to you, you feel me? But me, after living here for so long, I've just seen the effects of it for the people of Colombia, really for the gringos. Like, I think most of the bad effects that the Colombian women get is that I think some of them don't try to do anything else in their life because they have that as an option. So they use that option instead of doing something that could be a little bit more just better for their life. You know what I mean? And you know, I can't judge what's good for anybody. You can only do that for yourself. So you know, I'm just giving you my opinion from where I sit. And with that, man, I think I'm gonna close this video out. I really appreciate y'all tuning in today. I hope y'all learned something. I hope y'all, you know, come to Colombia. I hope y'all embrace the culture here and have a great time. And I hope Colombians welcome us here, you know, and they have in the past. I hope they continue to do it. You know, we're 100% back open now. So, yeah, man, I'm excited about being in Colombia again. For a while, I wasn't so excited about being here because all the restrictions, but it feels great knowing that we don't have to live like that anymore. And before we get out of here, man, like this video, drop a comment since you watched the whole video. I'm sure there's something in the video that caught you by surprise, or something that you might want to comment on. And then don't forget to follow my page, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my content. And lastly, man, I really appreciate y'all, and you'll be seeing me soon. Peace.